Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Weight Loss Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. Nope, I'm not.
Today.
I can't even say my fucking name right. I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a leadership coach for female entrepreneurs and I'm a feng shui practitioner. Clearly I have a problem speaking today. Maybe it's too many canned Moscow mules.
You're on the cans again.
I'm on the cans again. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what, but I'm clear. I'm going down in class. You know, I buy Dom Perignon champagne and canned goods.
It's called balance, Sandra.
Balance.
We've talked about this before.
It's called balance. So I am drinking Muddler's Moscow Mule today with real ginger, I might add. It's the classy part. So what are you? Tell me what you're drinking and hopefully I'll get my shit together.
First of all, happy Thursday. But second of all, Paul got this peach Jim Beam. And apparently him and his buddy were into it this weekend because it's like halfway empty. So I thought I had some wine chilling in the fridge and I did not. And so I thought I could use a little badassery. So I'm going to, go ahead and go for it. I don't know what it tastes like. So I have a glass of water.
It's like you go badass and I go lower class. I don't know what.
Well, I mean, it's Jim Beam. I don't think it's like, come on, Sandra.
What's interesting? I have to tell you this though. I know how you like your peanut butter whiskey with, it looks good. It's good.
Very good.
Okay. So my son, he drinks like the swear jar whiskey and he loves like the really good, like, Matthew McConaughey whiskey. He loves
that. Just sounds sexy.
Right. I know.
I mean, I think I would drink that no matter what it tastes like.
Right. Oh, I think it's bourbon. It's Matthew McConaughey's bourbon.
Well, shit, now I'm going to have to learn how to drink that.
Yeah, you totally. And, so he drinks like the hard stuff. Like he likes the, I gotta tell you, he likes the peanut butter whiskey.
Good.
I know. Shocking.
Okay, that makes me feel good.
I know. I was saying to him, I brought this peanut butter whiskey and he's like, oh, what? That's not whiskey. As it turns out, he's a fancy pants who likes it himself. So there we go. I was like, your mom has whiskey that you like. This is a good thing.
So I will tell you, bonding with my boy over whiskey has kind of been the coolest thing out of this whole thing. I mean, of course, having it with you every week.
Oh, I know.
There is something like, because he's always drank wine with me because that's just what I'll drink.
Yeah.
And so it's like now we have this elevated experience and badass.
It's like how I always imagine, when you watch those shows and like guys bond over cigars.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there's like this thing. That's what kind of is reminding me of.
Well, and it's funny because when we went to my brother's for the wedding, he stopped or somehow acquired Kubin cigars.
Oh.
And so he brought those for him and Paul. And I think there was maybe some extras in case anyone wanted them. And it was his first Cuban cigar he's ever had.
Cool.
And I did have a puff off of him or Paul's, I'm not sure who, just because it's a Cuban cigar.
You got to.
Like, and my mother was like, what are you doing? And I was like,
living the life.
That's right. It's a new experience, Mom. So how was your week?
My week was really good. I went to, so my daughter already graduated. She finished all of her classes. So now I have two kids. It's funny, how all of a sudden they are not 1 year old anymore. And then bam, they're adults. But anyway, so she's done all of her classes. And then we went to Saskatchewan on the weekend. And so my daughter was the escort of a friend of mine's, the son of a friend of mine. And so she went to his grad, and we knew each other from when we lived in Grand Cache, small little town. And so it was so fun because we have not seen these people. Well, one of the friends I had not seen for 16 years. And then my friend, like, we were the best of friends, Cam and her husband and myself and Carla. And so, like, and our kids and everything, right? And they moved away when, like, Cole was 3 and Shay was 1, I think, or 2 and 4, somewhere in around there. And they've reconnected. Like, it's the coolest thing ever. But what we were talking about when we were there was kind of similar to the conversation we had last week, where you were talking about how you went back to a wedding and it was like, I can't show up as 23 or 27-year-old Leigh. Like,
yeah.
I need to show up as 50-year-old Leigh. And how easy it is to just slip back into those roles.
Yeah.
It was that way, but in a good way, not in a, I'm going to show up as, 30-year-old Sandra, but it was like, kind of, we did, but in the greatest of ways, like the conversation.
But was it like y'all just never missed a beat?
Yes.
Yes.
It was like we just slipped back into our roles, but as adults.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's the comfort level. And you have that with some people where you don't see them forever. Yeah. And then you get back together and it's that same kind of attraction or connection.
It's like you're not nervous.
No, yeah.
You're not, like, it's just like you just don't skip a beat and you just flip back in. It was the coolest thing. I had the coolest conversation with our friend's son, who's a football player. I think he's a year younger than Cole. And I felt like a badass football mom. I was totally in the conversation with this dude. I was like, oh my God, where's the whiskey? I kicked some ass here.
Right. And isn't it weird seeing those kids grown, like after not seeing, I'm sure they were little.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think when he left, he might've been 2 or 3 because they left before us. Okay. Like there was 3 sets of us. And there. So yeah, I think this, I don't know, Logan would have been maybe 2 or 3. It was next level cool.
Wow,
I went for 5K walk, 5-kilometer walk.
Okay. 3.4 miles.
No, it was miles, because that's how our
okay, 5 miles.
So 5-mile walk every morning, and just in this farmland, it was just like coming home, because I am a Saskatchewan girl. So it was like coming home.
It felt good.
So tell me what you did on the weekend.
Girl. Okay, I had grand plans. We painted everything in the house that didn't move, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that's left is our master bathroom and closet.
Okay.
And we put the barn door up, and so we've sort of closed that area off because that's going to be the hardest piece. One, because I needed to clean up my closet. And I think we've been here 17 years. And there's 17 years worth of shit stuffed in every crevice. And then there's the bathroom, which when I painted it 12 years ago, 12 years ago, I had this wild idea. I'm going to crackle it. And it was pretty for a minute, but then the heat from the shower, or the steam from the shower, that humidity got in between the crackle in the wall.
Yeah.
So, but it looked like an old house with paint flaking off, we'll say.
Yeah.
But I've tried to go, okay, but this just makes me feel like I'm in an old, comfortable house. Like I tried to make it a positive, right?
That's a good way. That's a good way to flip it.
Because I was going, I'm not fucking painting this room again right now.
Yeah.
So I've left it, and it hasn't really driven me nuts. But now that everything is fresh and painted, I'm like, that needs to be clean. I want to walk in there, and it was going to feel different once I paint it. Plus, it's in our family area, and so I'm like, everything, and that's the last piece. And it's so interesting that seeing family I hadn't seen in so long really put that, like, clean your mess up, girl. Especially in the family area of your home, like clean it up. So I'm like the mother talking to the child, because I'm getting ready to start painting the bathroom. I have to sand and all that first. So I'm like, you cannot start this bathroom until that closet is clean. You know, sort of like my gift.
Yeah.
So I go in there just like a child would, get everything put up, hung up, straightened, which means I organize the shit in boxes just a little bit more. And I step back and look at it, and I'm like, yeah, that didn't do it. You're going to have to empty out this closet, which did not sound like fun. And I'm telling you, I had stuff lined up all through my bedroom. There was barely any space to walk in the bathroom. I mean, I had a little bit of a trail so I could get through. I think it was 10 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Spent on the closet, because it wasn't just taking it out. It was opening up the boxes, going through the stuff to see what is relevant. Do I need to keep anything? I didn't want to blindly throw anything amazing away. And I did find some crazy things. I found an interview that I didn't remember doing until I listened to it. That I'd met this lady in the coffee shop. She wanted to interview me, and she sent me a recording of the CD. And so that it was right as I was getting into feng shui. It might have been when I was recording Feng Shui Your Way. It might have been in that phase. But I found that, and then I found some letters from my grandma that were really pretty cool. But girl, I found some dark stuff. Like I found some letters and some memories that.
In your bathroom closet, this is where you chose to keep them?
My master.
Your master. Okay. Master bathroom.
Yes.
Closet. Okay.
It's in our master closet. So it's huge.
Okay.
I mean, it's not as huge as I want it to be, believe me, but it has enough space for me to store a whole bunch of shit.
Okay.
I filled up 2 trash cans.
Wow.
I got rid of some stuff. And then I have piles out there. We have a thrift store here in Leander. So I'm going to take them a bunch of stuff. And then I have a throwaway pile, and then I have a keep pile for, some of the photo or pictures, artwork that I want to keep. But it's interesting what's come up for me, and how going through all of those memories kind of brought me back there. And it made me realize, when we keep stuff like that in our space, we're just stuffing it. And it's so funny, because I almost called you, because I had these boxes of cards, and I'm like, can I throw these away? And then I'm like, well, when I die, do I want my kids to have to throw it away? You're never really going to read them if you want again, and get rid of them.
Yeah.
Sandra would tell you, get them out of your space.
Sandra would.
I didn't even need, I knew. But it's just, I'm excited. It's been rough, because it's brought up so much stuff that I have just
stuffed.
That's
maybe why it's called stuff.
Yeah.
But it like, I read one time, someone had said, it was a feng shui practitioner, someone had said, the things we place in our closets are like old held beliefs.
Oh, yes.
And so Yes. And I've always thought they're the things that we are choosing not to look at, right? Like they're the things that we are intentionally choosing not to look at when we place them in the closet and close the door. You know, so we can't all be Monica Geller. Like it's, you know, because her closet was stuffed full of stuff that's everything that she, you know, represents. The things that she's not wanting to look at. Like literally and figuratively.
Yes.
And for me, it's just like, yeah, it was like all of the beliefs that I was holding on to, all the things that were holding me back were in my closet. And so every time I look at a closet like the one that's in this room right now, it's full of things that I'm thinking, oh, I need to release some stuff. Because I'm in this process of really releasing beliefs that are holding me back.
Yes.
And it's just a beautiful old stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think that we shouldn't keep some old things that we love.
Oh, for sure.
But the cards, the greeting card, like the thank you cards, the like, you know, happy birthday, happy 41st birthday.
Happy 30th. I mean, some of the stuff that was in my closet was over 20 years old.
Right.
Okay.
You know, and will it bring you joy? I mean, we need to Marie Kondo this shit. Will it bring you joy to read this again? Like, did you open this up and go, oh my gosh, happy 33rd birthday. Yay. Love Tom. You know, it's like, like, who the fuck is Tom? We don't even know. Why are we keeping this?
Yeah.
And different when you, the feel and the joy when you open something up and it's from, you know, your grandma.
Oh, that when I opened up her letters, I was like, oh my God. And that's really what made me start fishing.
Right. Because
I thought her handwriting needs to be saved.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh. Do you want to know something crazy? I will take a picture and I will put it on our Facebook page. I have a picture, or I have a little piece of masking tape that says apricot on it. My grandmother made this apricot jam and it was in the freezer and she had passed, and I found this apricot jam and I just loved her handwriting in Sharpie marker on this piece of tape. So I took the piece of tape off and it is now on the inside of one of my cupboards. And I look at it all the time.
Yes.
And people who were in my house might go, you really love apricots. And I actually don't. I don't even like apricots. But
it's a reminder.
It's like this, oh yeah, like I just love her handwriting. And like, it's like, and I have other things from her. I have like recipes that she wrote in her handwriting to me, but there's something about this apricot. I don't know. It's just magical. Like I just like freaking love it. So there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
Because if I got a card from her, if I found a card from her and it said love grandma, not as meaningful to me as a piece of tape that says apricot.
Right. Or a letter that she wrote you.
Or a letter. It's like, what does it mean to me? And if it doesn't really have a deep meaning, I think it's okay to let go. In fact, because I want to open up my space.
And we'll do that in other areas.
Yeah.
You know, as we let that shit go, we start looking at everything in that way. And it's funny, Paul and I were playing pool last night and we start talking, and we do get very philosophical when we play pool, as stupid as that sounds. But we look at how we play pool is how we live life. Oh my God. And
this is when the coolest thing ever. There's meaning in everything. Like I totally,
there's meaning in everything.
We're both so the same. It's like, wow, mind blowing. Everyone could be listening to this going, are you kidding me? But I'm like right there with you.
You get it. You get what I'm saying? So
I totally do. Plus I love pool.
There are nights that I am on and focused and I'll think about what I'm doing. I don't just shoot to move the balls.
Yeah.
And I'll make some shots and I'll go, damn girl. And I was playing with my girlfriend this weekend and she's like, you're getting a little sharky. But I have those moments where I'm very deliberate and I know what I'm going to do and I can see it happen. And then there are these moments where I'm like, well, that looks too hard and I don't feel like focusing that hard. So I'm just going to move these balls.
Yeah.
And then I move the balls and then I'm like, why didn't I try the shot? Like, why did I take the easy way out? And we do that in life. I see myself do that when I'm like, that looks too hard. I'm just going to move some balls over here instead of going for what I want. And Paul and I, we watch each other. And when one of us does really good, it's not like, oh shit, he's going to win. I better do something. It was like, holy shit, that was a badass shot. Like, wow. And we were talking about how when we're competitive with people, we aren't learning from them. When we are watching what they do and admiring the way, like the shot that they took, whether it's in pool or in life, and going, wow, how the fuck did you do that? You know, that was so amazing. We're learning because we're watching them.
Yeah.
But when we're competing with them, we're not paying attention to that. We're just pissed off that they're ahead of us.
That is so good.
And so we're having this conversation. He goes, baby, are you going to write this shit down? Because I do that. Like, I'll pause the game because we'll be talking about profound things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And he totally gave me permission to stop the game and go write it down. And I don't know if he regretted it or not, because I got like that much. Now, this was about 3 different conversations. But we get into these modes and then it's like, how do we apply this to life? Like, can we stop looking at other people as competition and start looking at like, what can I learn from you?
Yeah.
Because when we do that, everybody grows, you know?
So true. It's so
and then
true.
You don't have that angst of, oh my God, I'm going to lose. It's like, you're going to finish your game.
And I think we manifest more too, when we're in this state of appreciation. And, you know, like a lot of times in business, we get into spaces where people are doing really, really well. And initially you're like, oh, fuck, I want that. Like I talk my clients through this all the time. It's like, oh my God, like, why is she kicking ass and I can't? Like, what the fuck? And it's in some ways, you know, I've worked with women who have gone like, I just want what she has and she doesn't deserve it. And it must be bullshit, right? She must be lying.
Well, then they don't want it bad enough.
Right. Or then it's, oh, why can't I do that? Why can't I create that? Why can't I do that for me? Happy for her, pissed off for me. And then there's like, oh, she can do it. I can do it.
Yes. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
If they can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
It's so many people are stuck thinking, this is my life. This is all I'll ever do. This is all, because they've never been taught you can do whatever you want. Yeah. It is like open season. What do you want to do? Go do it. And so we hold ourselves back because we say, this is my place. Maybe I'm not worth more. Maybe I deserve more. Yeah. But yeah, you do. But when you get to that place that you go, that's where all the good stuff is.
It is. And that's where you start to manifest.
Yes. Because you see it. Yeah. You see it's possible.
I've said to my husband so often, like, I was so lucky because, like, I come from, my dad had a business. So, you know, I kind of know that. I mean, for the good and the bad, I took in some things that were limiting beliefs for me. And then I've taken in some things that were like, I can do this, you know. And I spent a lot of time, like we lived next to my grandmother, and my grandmother was just like, anything is possible. Like, it was like, I never would make ever a mistake. Like never, it was like, she never, ever held me back. It was like, I was put up on this pedestal to like do good in the world. And no matter what I did, I was going to thrive and I was going to succeed. And she was just like my biggest cheerleader, it felt like to me. And I said to Cam, I was so lucky to have had that in my grandmother and to be so close and to, and my mom was like always, cheering me on and, sort of supporting me and things. And I was so lucky to have that in my life because so many people do not, even him. Like, and I feel like I still, I'm working with my coach, Jana Kingsford, and we're working through deep, dark beliefs, like the beliefs that hold us back from where we are to where we want to go. And there are more of them if you want to go huge places. And so we're working through all this stuff. And I just think, wow, like, I'm so grateful for having the foundation that I do have because so many people don't.
And that's the power. That's the power of our words.
Yes.
And so if we tell our kids, so I'll give you an example. I am 5'2". I am short, and that is okay. And here's why. Because I stopped growing. This is my recollection.
Okay.
But I stopped growing in 5th grade.
Oh, it's the same with Shay.
And in 5th grade, I was tall.
So was she.
And my mother.
She's 5'2" as well, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
My mother is, I want to say she's 5'8", but I think she's really 5'6", because she did seem so tall to me.
Yeah.
And my grandmother was like 5'1/2". But my father, I think he was 6 feet. I don't think he's 6 feet anymore, but I think in the day he was 6 feet. So I have these tall parents. And so they see me at 10 or 5th grade or whatever. And they're like, yeah, she's going to be tall. So I always felt tall. And it wasn't until 7th or 8th grade. And I'm talking to one of the short girls in the class, except I'm looking up to her and I'm like, you are so cute. And she's like, oh my God, you're shorter than I am. Shut up. And something like that, and she wasn't being mean. I think she was being funny, but I was like, I am not short. And then I realized, holy shit, she's like way taller than you. You are short.
Yeah.
But because I had that belief from childhood that I was tall, I never believed that I was short. I mean, I knew I was short, but I didn't feel short.
Yeah.
So I didn't walk around like there's something wrong with me, because some people don't like it. And but it's just interesting, the beliefs.
It's so true.
That we pick up.
Yeah. Shay, same sort of thing. Like Shay, I think in grade 5 was the tallest in her class. Like, and always had been, like super tall. And so all of us, like, I'm 5'10", Cam is 5'10", my son is almost 6'3". And so, and my dad was 6'1", my mom is 5'10", my brother's 6'3", I think too. I mean, like, so I'm used to everyone being tall, and I just assumed Shay would be too. And she's 5'2", she just stopped growing. But she loves being short.
Well, you have more options, for real.
That's true. That's true. It's true. And she, like, I don't know, it's like, Cole will tease her, and he'll like take her toothbrush and he'll put it up on the top shelf of the bathroom counter because she can't get it. But I
have a ladder in my kitchen.
Yeah, she's not that thrilled about that per se. But, it's like she really does sort of just embrace her height, which I love. But we also didn't like raise her to like put her down, or, you know, like lots of people would have been, right? And so not that you can't come out of that, but it takes you the work to get out of
Correct.
that.
It's just a good foundation that you have.
Yeah.
Like I had enough shit to work through of my own creation. Don't add being short to the list.
Yeah.
That seems silly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, girl, I think that we are out of time, and it really feels like we
are.
just started talking.
I know.
Oh my
We
goodness.
had a lot of topics but they were all awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sandra. I enjoyed our day. Thank you guys for joining us on the Happy Half Hour. We will see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.